everyone, it's Amber from A.jasmine English, and today I would like to teach you some phrasal verbs using the word write. So we have different prepositions we use after write, and then that means different things can follow after this phrasal verb. For example, write up, or write on, or write to. So let's have a look at all of the words with write and what we can use them for in a sentence. The first phrasal verb with write that I'm going to explain to you is to write on. If I write on something, this means that the thing that you will actually write on, whether it's paper, a book, you can write on the label. So this is the object that you actually will write on the surface. So it's the surface you will write on. I want to write on some beautiful paper to make invitations for my party. There are words written on the cubicle walls in toilets at my pub. Graffiti is written on the walls of this building. Okay, the second with write is to write up. If you write up something, this means something that will take time. You need to think about what you are writing. So it is the thing that you write. For example, you write up a letter, or you write up an essay. You can write up a report. If you are doing something in science, I'm going to write up a report to tell you what happened in the experiment. Or I'm going to write up an email and send it to all of my colleagues. So this is write up. Number three. Number three is to write down. If you write down something, this means you listen or you think about something you want to write and you write it so you remember. Let me write that down. Can I write it down, please? So you write down notes, for instance. If you go to a university class or a lecture, or if you are in a meeting at work, you often write down notes so that you remember what happened in the meeting. The secretary wrote down notes and then sent the notes to everybody from the meeting. You can write down a list. So if I go to the supermarket and I don't want to forget anything, I write down a list of all the foods that I need to buy and I take my list with me. You can write down instructions. So if, for example, I am going to babysit for my friend's baby, I need to know the emergency phone numbers. I need to know what she needs to do before and after bed, or any instructions about what I can give for food. Maybe the baby is not able to eat something. So you can write down instructions to somebody so that they can follow the instructions. If you write for someone, you have to write for a person. So maybe a speech writer will write speeches for Donald Trump, for example. Okay, so they would write for Donald Trump. Or maybe if there's a very important CEO of a business, they will ask the secretary to write for them. So you write for a person. You write something for a person. Oh, I wrote a presentation for you. I wrote the speech for my boss. So this is where you write something down for another person. And finally, our last phrasal verb with write is to write to. If you write to someone, then this means that you send somebody a letter or an email or something that you write. I wrote to my mum to tell her about my exciting announcement. I wrote to my manager to tell him I would like a promotion. I wrote an email to my boss to tell him I was resigning and I do not want to work anymore. I wrote to my boyfriend to tell him how much I miss him. So here, write to a person. I wrote to someone. Now the verb write, if you look at write, this is the transitive with no to. If you look at write in the past simple, we say wrote. I wrote to someone. Or the past participle, we say the word written. I have written. He has written. He has written to his parents to ask for more money. I have written a letter to my boss to tell him I think he needs more resources in the office. Good, so here we have lots of phrases with write. I want you to complete some sentences, so I'm going to display 3 sentences here, and I want you to choose which preposition to use. Should you use up, down, on, to, for? You choose, and then at the end I will tell you which one is correct. Here are the 3 sentences. So now that you've had a chance to practice, I'm going to tell you which one is correct. For sentence number 1, the sentence should say, he wrote to his girlfriend last week. He wrote to his girlfriend last week. Sentence number 2, the journalist writes for the Esquire magazine. The journalist writes for the Esquire magazine. They write for a company or write for someone. And number 3, please wait a moment, I need to write it down. Please wait a moment, I need to write it down. All right, great job everyone, well done. If you have any questions about these phrasal verbs, please send me a message and I will be happy to answer your questions. If you are interested in learning more English with me, I do live classes every week, so you can register with A.jasmine English. Otherwise, I hope you have a nice day. Take care.